Good afternoon. Today is Saturday. Reading Judges 12:3-21. I'll be messed up on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I just didn't have the chance to do it, so I'm just gonna catch up. Alright. And the men of Ephraim gathered themselves together and went northward and said unto Jephthah, wherefore passest thou over to fight against the children of Ammon, and did not call us to go with thee? We will burn thine house upon thee with fire. And Jephthah said unto them, I and my people were at great strife with the children of Ammon. When I called you, you delivered me not out of their hands. When I saw that you delivered me not, I put my life in my hands and passed over against the children of Ammon. And the Lord delivered them into my hand. Wherefore then are you come up to me this day to fight against me? Then Jephthah gathered together all the men of Gilead and fought with Ephraim. And the men of Gilead smote Ephraim, because they said, Ye Gileadites are fugitives of Ephraim among the Ephraimites and among the Manassites. And the Gileadites took the passages of Jordan before the Ephraimites. And it was so that when those Ephraimites which were escaped said, Let me go over, that the men of Gilead said unto him, Are you an Ephraimite? And if he said, No, then said they unto him, Say now, Shibboleth. He said Shibboleth, for he could not frame to pronounce it right. Then they took him and slew him at the passages of Jordan. And there fell at that time of Ephraimites 40 and 2,000. And Jephthah judged Israel 6 years. And then died Jephthah the Gileadite, and was buried in one of those cities, in one of the cities of Gilead. And after him, Ibzan of Bethlehem judged Israel. And he had 30 sons and 30 daughters, whom he sent abroad, and took in 30 daughters from abroad for his sons, and he judged Israel 7 years. Then died Ibzan, and was buried at Bethlehem. And after him, Elon, and Zebulonites judged Israel, and he judged Israel 10 years. And Elon, the Zebulonites, died and was buried in Ajalon in the country of Zebulun. And after him, Abdon, the son of Hillel, a Parathonite, judged Israel. He had 40 sons and 30 nephews that rode on 10 ass colts. And he judged Israel 8 years. And Abdon, the son of Hillel, the Parathonite, died and was buried in Parathon, in the land of Ephraim, and the mount of the Amalekites. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord delivered them into the hand of the Philistines 40 years. And there was a certain man of Israel of the family of Danites, whose name was Mona, and his wife was barren, and bare not. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto the woman, said unto her, Behold, now you are barren, and bearest not, but you shall conceive and bear a son. Now therefore beware, I pray thee, drink not wine, nor strong drink, or eat anything unclean. For lo, you shall conceive and bear a son, and now wisdom shall come on his head, for a child shall be a Nazarite to God from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines. Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, A man of God came unto me, and his countenance was like the countenance of an angel of God, very terrible. But I asked him not whence he was, neither told he me his name. But he said unto me, Lo, you shall conceive and bear a son. I drink no wine nor strong drink, neither eat anything unclean. For the child shall be a Nazarite to God from the womb to the day of his death. Then Mona entreated the Lord and said, O my Lord, let the men of God which he did read send come again with us and teach us. What shall we do unto the child that shall be born? And God hearkened to the voice of Mona. an angel of God came again to the woman as she sat in the field. But Mona, her husband, was not with her. And the woman made haste and ran and showed favor. Her husband said unto him, Behold, the man hath appeared unto me that came unto me the other day. And Mona rose and went after his wife and came to the man and said unto him, Are you the man that spaketh to the woman? He said, I am. And Mona said, Now that thou worst come to pass, how shall we order the child, and how shall we do unto him? And the angel of the Lord said unto Mona, Of all that I said unto the woman, let her beware. She may not eat of anything that cometh out of the vine, neither her drink wine or strong drink, nor eat any unclean thing. All that I commanded her, let her observe. And Manoah said unto the angel of the Lord, I pray thee, let us the same thing till we shall have made ready a kid for thee. And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, You shall detain me. I will not eat of thy bread, and if you will offer a burnt offering, you must offer unto the Lord. For Manoah knew not that he was an angel of the Lord. And Manoah said unto the angel of the Lord, What is thy name? That when your sayings come to pass, we may do thee honor. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, Why askest you thus after my name, seeing it is a secret? So Manoah took a kid with a meat offering, and offered it upon and rock unto the Lord, and the angel did wondrously. And Manoah and his wife looked on. For it came to pass, when the flame went up toward heaven from off the altar, that the angel of the Lord ascended, and the flame of the fire filled the altar. And Manoah and his wife looked on it, and fell on their faces to the ground. And the angel of the Lord did no more appear to Manoah and to his wife. Then Manoah knew that he was an angel of the Lord. And Manoah said unto his wife, We shall surely die, because we have seen God. But his wife said unto him, The Lord were pleased to kill us, he would not have received a burnt offering and a meat offering at our hands, neither would he have showed us any all these things, nor would it at this time have told us such things as these. And the woman bare a son, and called his name Samson. The child grew, and the Lord blessed him. And the Spirit of the Lord began to move him at times in the camp of Dan, between Zorah and Ashtel. And Samson went down to Timnah, and saw a woman at Timnah of the daughters of the Philistines. And he came up and told his father and his mother, and said, I have seen a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. Now therefore get her for me to wife. Then his father and his mother said to him, Is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren, or among all my people, that you should go to take a wife for the uncircumcised Philistines? And Samson said unto his father, Get her for me, for she pleaseth me well. And his mother knew not that it was the Lord that sought an occasion against the Philistines. For at that time the Philistines had dominion over Israel. Then went Samson down, and his father and his mother to Timnath, and came to the vineyards of Timnath, and behold, a young lion roared against them. And the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and he rent him as he would have rent a kid, and he had nothing in his hand. But he told not his father or his mother what he had done. And he went down and talked with the woman. She was pleased. Samson went. After a time, he returned to take her, and he returned aside to see the carcass of the lion. And behold, there was a swarm of bees and honey in the carcass of the lion. And he took thereof in his hands and went on eating. came to his father and mother, and gave them, and they did eat. But he told them that he had taken the honey out of the carcass of the lion. So his father went down into the woman and perhaps and made there a feast. For so used the young man to do. And it came to pass, when they saw him, that they brought 30 companions to be with him. And Samson said unto them, I will not put forth a riddle to you. If you can certainly declare it within the 7 days of the feast and find it out, then I will give you 30 sheets and 30 change of garments. But if you cannot declare it to me, then you shall give me 30 sheets and 30 change of garments. And they said unto him, Put forth thy riddle, that we may hear it. And he said unto them, Out of the eater came forth meat, and out of the strong came forth sweetness. And they could not in 3 days expound the riddle. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they said unto Samson's wife, Entice your husband, that he may declare to us the riddle, lest we burn thee and thy father's house with fire, and have you called us to take that we have? Is it not so? And Samson's wife wept before him and said, You dost but hate me, and lovest me not. You have spoke forth a riddle unto the children of my people, and hast not told it to me. And he said unto her, Behold, I have not told it my father nor my mother, and shall I tell it thee? And she wept before him the 7 days, while their feast lasted. And it came to pass on the 7th day that he told her, because she lay sore upon him. And she told the riddle to the children of her people. And the men of the city said unto him on the 7th day before the sun went down, What is sweeter than honey, and what is stronger than the lion? Said unto them, If you had not plowed with my heifer, you have not found my riddle. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he went down to Ashkelon, and there slew 30 men of them, took their spoil, and gave change of garments unto them, which expounded the riddle. And his anger was kindled, and he went up to his father's house. But Samson's wife was given to his companions, whom he had used as his friends. And it came to pass within a while after the time of wheat harvest, that Samson visited his wife with a kid, and he said, I will go into my wife into the chamber. But her father would not suffer him to go in, and her father said, I verily thought that you had utterly hated her, therefore I gave her to thy companions. Is not her young sister fairer than she? Take her, I pray thee, instead of her. Samson said concerning them, Now shall I be more blameless than the Philistines, though I do them at displeasure. And Samson went and caught 300 foxes, and took firebrands. And when he set the brands on fire, he let them go. He took the standing and corn of the Philistines and burnt both the shocks, and also the standing corn with the vineyards of olives. Then the Philistines said, Who has done this? And they answered, Samson, the son-in-law of the Sunite, because he had taken his wife and given her to his companion. And the Philistines came up and burned her and her father in fire. And Samson said unto them, Though you have done this yet, will I be avenged of you, and after that I will cease, and smote them hip with great slaughter, and went down to the top of the Ark. And the Philistines went up and pitched in Judah, spread themselves in Lehi. And the men of Judah said, Why are you come against us? And he answered, To bind Samson, are we to come up to do so, unless he had done to us? And 3,000 men of Judah went to the top of the rock and asked him, and said to Samson, Know you that the Philistines are rulers over us? And what is this that you has done to us? And he said unto them, As they did unto me, so have I done to them. They said unto him, We are come down to bind thee, that we may deliver thee into the hand of the Philistines. And Samson said unto them, Swear unto me that you will not fall upon news. So they spake to him, saying, No, but we will bind thee fast and deliver thee into their hand, but surely we will not kill thee. And they bowed over to their cords, and they brought him up from the rock. And when he came to Lehi, the Philistines shouted against him, and the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and the cords that were on his arms, because his flax that was burnt with fire, his brands loosed off from off his hands, and he found the new jawbone of an ass, and he put forth his hand and took it, and slew 1,000 men therewith. And Samson said, With the jawbone of an ass, heaps upon heaps, with the jaw of an ass, have I slain 1,000 men. And it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking, that he cast away the jawbone out of his hand, and called that place Ramathai. And he was sore thirst, and called on the Lord, and said, You have given great deliverance into the hand of thy servant. How shall I die for thy thirst, and fall into the hand of the uncircumcised now? But God clave unto a hollow place that was in the jaw, and there came water thereout. And when he had drunk this, his spirit came again, and he revived, wherefore he called the name thereof Anachor, which is in Lehi unto this day. And he judged Israel in the days of the Philistines 20 years. Then went Samson to Gaza, and saw there an harlot, and went in unto her. And it was told the Gazites, saying, Samson is come hither. And they compassed him, and laid wait for him all night in the gate of the city, and were quiet all the night, saying, In the morning, when it is day, we shall kill him. And Samson lay till midnight, and arose at midnight, and took the doors of the gate of the city and 2 posts, and went away with them, bar and all, and put them upon his shoulders, and carried them up to the top of the hill that is before Hebron. And it came to pass afterwards that he loved a woman in the valley of Shorek, whose name was Delilah. And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her, and said unto her, Entice him, and see whether in his great strength lieth, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him, and we will give thee every one of us 1,100 pieces of silver. Delilah said to Samson, Tell me, I pray thee, wherein your great strength lieth, wherewith you mightest be bound to afflict thee. Samson said unto her, They bind me with 7 green withs that were never dried, then shall I be weak, and be as another man. Then the lords of the Philistines brought up to her 7 green withs, which had not been dried, and she bound him with them. Now there were men lying await, abiding with her in the chamber, and she said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he brake the withs, and as a third of the toe was broken, when he touched the fire, so his strength was not known. Delilah said to Samson, Behold, you hast mocked me and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, They bound me with the ropes that never were occupied. Then shall I be weak, and be as another man. Delilah therefore took new ropes and bound him. Then went and said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. The Philistines be upon thee, Samson, and there were liars and we were abiding in the chamber, and he brake them from off his arms like a thread. And Delilah said unto Samson, Hitherto thou hast mocked me, and told me lies. Tell me wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, If you weave the 7 locks of my head with a web. And she fastened it with the pin and said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awake out of sleep, and went away with the pin up the things and with the web, and said unto her, how can be saying I love thee, knowing that heart is not with me? You has mocked me 3 times, and has not told me wherein. Your great strength lieth, and it came to pass, she present him daily with her words, and urged them, so that his soul was vexed unto death. And that he told her all his heart, and said unto her, there has not come a razor upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb, and if I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man. And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she came and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, come up at once, for he has shown me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in their hand. She made him sleep upon her knees, and she called for a man that caused him to shave off those 7 locks of his head, and she began to afflict him and stripped from him. She said, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he woke out of sleep, and he said, I will go out as at other times before and shake myself. And it was not that the Lord was departed from him. When the Philistines took him and put out his eyes and brought him down to Gaza, bound him with fetters and brass, and he did grind in the prison house. And howbeit the hairs of his head began to grow after he was shaven. Then the lords of the Philistines gathered them together for to offer a great sacrifice unto Dagon, their God, and to rejoice. Therefore they said, our God delivered Samson, our enemy, to our hand. And when the people saw him, they praised God, their God, for they said, our God has delivered into our hands our enemy, and the destroyer of our country, which slew many of us. And it came to pass, when their hearts were merry, that they said, they called for Samson, that he may make us his sport. And they called for Samson out of the prison house, and he made them sport, and they set him between the pillars. And Samson said unto the lad that held him by the hand, suffer me not that I may feel the pillars upon the house. Stand it that I may lean upon them. Now the house was full of men and women, and all the lords of the Philistines were there. And they were upon the roof about 3,000 men and women that beheld Samson make sport. Samson called unto the Lord and said, O Lord God, remember me, I pray thee, and strengthen me. I pray thee only this once, O God, that I may be at once avenged of the Philistines for my 2 eyes. And Samson took hold of the 2 middle pillars upon which the house stood, and on which it was borne up, with the one with his right hand, and on the other with his left. Samson said, let me down with the Philistines, and he bowed himself with all his might, and the house fell upon the lords and upon the people that was there until the dead which he slew at his death were more than they which he slew in his life. Then his brethren and all the house of his father came down, took him and brought him up, and buried him between Zorah and Eshtaol, in the burying place of Mona, his father, and he judged Israel 20 years. And there came a man of Mount Ephraim, whose name was Micah, and he sent to his mother the 11 shekels of silver that were taken from thee, which you curses. As big as also in mine ears, but holy silver is with me. I took it, and his mother said, blessed be thou of the Lord, my son. And when he had restored his 11 shekels of silver to his mother said, I wholly dedicated the silver to the Lord from my hand for my son, to make a graven image and a molten image. Now therefore I will restore it to thee. Yet he restored the money to his father, and his mother took the 2 shekels of silver and gave them to the founder, who made thereof the graven image and a molten image. They were in the house of Micah, and the man Micah had an house of gods, and made an ephod and teraphim, and consecrated one of his sons, who became his priest. In those days there was no king in Israel, but every man did that which was right in his own eyes. And there was a young man out of Beth of Judah, of the family of Judah, who was a Levite, with children. And the man departed out of descending from Beth of Judah to sojourn where you could find a place, and came to the Mount Ephraim, to the house of Micah as he journeyed. And Micah said unto him, whence comest thou? And he said unto them, I am a Levite, of Bethlehem of Judah, and I go to sojourn where I might find a place. And Micah said unto him, dwell with me, and be unto me a father and a priest, and I will give thee 10 shekels of silver by the year, and a suit of apparel with thy victuals. So the Levite went in, and the Levite was content to dwell with the man, and the man was unto him as one of his sons. And Micah consecrated the Levite young man, became his priest, and was in the house of Micah. And said Micah, now I know that the Lord will do me good, seeing I have a Levite to my priest. In those days there was no king in Israel. In those days the tribe of Danites sought them an inheritance to dwell in. For until that day all their inheritance had fallen unto them among the tribes, and the children of Dan sent of their family 5 men from the coast, men of valor, from Zorah, from Eshtaol, to spy out the land and search it. And they said unto them, go search the land. Who, when they came to Mount Ephraim, to the house of Micah, they lodged there. When they were by the house of Micah, they knew the voice of the young man, the Levites, and they turned there and brought here. What do you make of this place? He said to them, Micah has dealt with me, he's hired me, I'm his priest. And they said to them, we pray thee, O God, that we may know which way we shall be prosperous. And the priest said, go, peace, the Lord is with you. Then the 5 departed, they left, and saw that the people there, and they looked curiously. And at the demand of Mizadians, the quiet and secure, there was no magistrate in the land that might put them to shame in anything. They were far from the Zidonites and had no business with any man. And they sent unto their brethren, to Zorah and Eshtaol, the brethren said unto them, what say you? And he said, arise, that we may go against them, for we have seen the land, and behold, it is very good. And are you still? Be not slothful to go and to enter to possess the land. And you go, you shall come to a people secure, into a large land, for God hath given you your hands in a place where there is no want of anything that is in the earth. And there went up a family of Danites, Zorah, Eshtaol, 600 men appointed with weapons of war. When they went up, pitched the courage of Judah, wherefore they called the place Manada, to the state Bo, that is behind Kirjim. And they passed into Mount Ephraim, and came into the house of Micah. Then answered the 5 men, then went to spot the country of Lachish, and said unto the brethren, do you know that there is in these houses an ephod to Ephraim, with a graven image and a molten image? Now therefore consider what you have to do. And they turned there, came to the house of the young men, and to the house of Micah, and saluted him. 600 men appointed with their weapons of war, which were of the children of Dan, stood by, saying of the gate. And the 5 men that were to spy out the land went up and came there, and took the graven image, and the ephod, to Ephraim, and the molten image, and the priest stood in the entering of the gate, with the 600 men that were appointed with their weapons of war. And these went to Micah's house, and fetched the carved image, the ephod, and Ephraim, and the molten image, and then said the priest unto them, what do you? They said to him, hold your peace. Lay thine hand upon my mouth, and go with us to be us a father and a priest. It is better for thee to be a priest unto the house of one man, or that you may be a priest unto the tribe of the family of Israel. And the priest's heart was glad, and he took the ephod and Ephraim and the graven image, and went into the midst of the people. So they turned and departed, and put the little ones and the cattle in the carriage before them. And when they were good way from the house of Micah, the men that were in the houses near to Micah's house were gathered together and overtook the children of Dan. And they cried unto the children of Dan, and they turned their faces and said to Micah, What aileth thee, that you come with such a company? He said, You have taken away my gods, which I have made the priests, and you are gone away. And what have I more? And what is this that you say unto me? What aileth thee? The children of Dan said unto him, Let not thy voice be heard among us, lest angry fellows run upon thee, and thou losest thy life with the lives of thy household. The children of Dan went their way. And when Micah saw that they were too strong for him, he turned and went back to his house. And he took the things which Micah made, and the priests had, and came to Laish, and to the people that were quiet and secure, and they smote with the edge of the sword, and burnt the city with fire, and there was no deliverer, because it was far from Zidon. They had no business with any man, and it was in the valley that lieth by Bethabara. And they came, built the city, and dwelt therein. And they called the name of the city Dan, and the name of Dan their father, which was born to Israel. Howbeit the name of the city was Laishah the first. And the children of Dan said of the governor mentioned Jonathan, the son of Jesham, the son of Manasseh. He and his sons were priests to the tribe of Dan until the day the captivity of the land. And they set up Micah's graven image, which he had made all the time that the house of God was in Shiloh. And it came to pass in those days that when there was no king in Israel, that there was a certain Levite sojourning on the side of Mount Ephraim, who took to him a concubine out of Beth Jacob. And his concubine played the whore against him, and went away from him to her father's house to Beth Judah, and was there 4 whole months. And her husband arose and went after her, speaking friendly to him, and bring her again, having a servant with him, and a couple of asses, and she brought him to the father's house. When the father of the damsel saw him, he rejoiced to meet him, and the father-in-law, the damsel's father, retained him, and abode with him 3 days. So they did eat and drink, and lodged there. And it came to pass on the 4th day, when they arose early in the morning, that he rose up to leave. And the damsel said unto his son-in-law, Comfort your heart with some bread, and go your way. And they sat, ate, and drank together. And the damsel's father said to the man, Be content, pray thee, and wait all night, and let your heart be merry. When the man got up to leave, his father-in-law urged him, therefore he lived there, lodged there again. And he rose early in the morning on the 5th day to leave. The damsel said, Comfort your heart, I pray thee, until this afternoon. And they did eat, both of them. And when the man arose up to depart, he and his concubine and the servant of his father-in-law, the damsel's father said unto him, Behold, now the day draweth toward evening, I pray you tarry all night. Behold, the day goeth to an end. Lodge here that thine heart may be merry, and tomorrow get you early on your way, that you may go home. But the man would not tarry that night, but he rose up and departed, and came over to Jezbus, which is Jerusalem. And there was with him 2 asses saddled, his concubine also with them. And they were by Jezbus. The day was far spent. And the servant said unto the master, Come, I pray thee, and let us turn and into the city of Jebusites, and lodged in it. And his master said unto him, We will not turn aside there to the city of the stranger that is not in the children of Israel. We will pass over to Gibeah. And he said unto the servant, Come, let us draw near to one of these places to lodge all night in Gibeah or in Ramah. And they passed on and went their way. And the sun went down upon them when they were by Gibeah, which belonged to Benjamin. And they turned aside there to go in and to lodge in Gibeah. And when he was in, he sat down in the street of the city. And for there was no man that took them into his house to lodging. And behold, there came an old man from his work out of the field at even, which was also about Ephraim, and he sojourned in Gibeah. But the band of the place were Benjamites. And when he had lifted up his eyes, he saw a weaver and a man in the street of the city. And the old man said, Where you goest thou? Whence comest thou? And he said to him, We are passing from Judah toward the side of Mount Ephraim. From thence am I, and I went to Beth Judah, and going to the house of the Lord. There is no man that receiveth me to the house, yet there is both straw and provender for our asses, and there is bread and water also for me, for your husband, for the young man which is with thy servants. There is no want of anything. And the old man said, Peace be with thee. Howsoever, let all thy wants lie upon me, only lodge in the street. So he brought him into his house, and gave provender to the asses, and then they washed their feet, and did eat and drink. Now, as they were making their hearts merry, behold, the men in the city, certain sons of the Belial, beset the house round about, and beat at the door, and spake to the master of the house, the old man, saying, Bring forth the man that came into thine house, that we may know him. And the man, the master of my house, went unto them, and said unto them, No, my brother, no, I pray you, do not do so wickedly. Seeing that this man is come into my house, do not this folly. Behold, here is my daughter, a maiden, and his concubine. Them I will bring out now, and humble ye them, and do with them what seemeth good unto you. But to this man do not so vile a thing. But the men did not hearken to him, so the men took his concubine and brought forth unto them, and they knew her, and abused her all the night until the morning. And when the day began to spring, they let her go. They came the woman in the dawning of the day, and fell down at the door of the man's house where her lord was, till it was light. And her lord was up in the morning, and opened the doors of the house, and went out to go his way. And behold, the woman, his concubine, was fallen down at the door of the house, and her hands was upon the threshold. And he said unto her, Get up, let us be going. But none answered. Then the man took her up upon the ass, and the man rose up and went to his place. And when he come to the house, he took a knife, and laid hold on his concubine, and divided her together with her bones into 12 pieces, and sent her to all the coasts of Israel. And it was so that all that saw it, there was no such deed done nor seen from the day that children of Israel came up out of the land of Egypt. To this day consider it, take advice, speak your minds. Then all the children of Israel went out, congregation was together to the Lord of Mizpah, and the children of Israel, and the children of the people, they presented themselves in the assembly of the people of God. Then Benjamin heard that the children of Israel were calling to Mizpah, and they wanted to know how was this wickedness. And the Levite husband of the one that was killed said, I can't go other among Benjamin, and both of those. And the men of Gibeah rose against them, and thought to slay me. But my concubine they forced, and she's dead. And I took my concubine and cut her in pieces, and sent her throughout the country of the inheritance of Israel, for they have committed lewdness and folly in Israel. All your children, Israel, give your advice and counsel. All the people got up, saying, We will not any of us to go to his tent, neither will we any of us to our house. But now this shall be the thing that we will do to Gibeah, but we will go against it. And we will take 10 men of 100 throughout all the tribes of Israel, house of 1,000, to fetch food for the people, and then they may do. And when they come to Gibeah, all that the folly that they have wrought in Israel. So they gathered as one man, and the tribes sent to all the people, What wickednesses have you done? Now give us the children of Belial, which are in Gibeah, so we can put them to death and put away evil from Israel. But the children of Benjamin would not listen. But the children gathered themselves together, and they went up to battle. And the children of Benjamin numbered at that time were number 700. Among this people, there were 700 chosen, and everyone could sling stones. And the men of Israel were numbered, all these men of war, and the children arose, and they asked God, which of us shall go to the battle for the Benjamin? And the Lord said, Judah, go first. And the children of Israel rose up and encamped against Gibeah. And the men of Israel went out to battle against Benjamin, and the men of Israel put themselves in array to fight against them. And then they came forth to the ground, and the people, the men of Israel, they encouraged themselves, and they put themselves in the first day. And the children of Israel went up and they cried, shall I go up against the battle Benjamin, or rather, the Lord said, go up against them. And the children of Israel came there, second day. Benjamin went forth against them and Gibeah the second day, and they destroyed down the ground of the children of Israel. Then all the children of Israel, all the people went out and came unto the house of God and wept and sat there before their Lord and fasted that day until even, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. And the children of Israel inquired of the Lord, for the ark of the covenant was there in those days. Phinehas and Eleazar, son of Aaron. The Lord said, go up, because I'm going to deliver them to your hand. And Israel set hires and wait around Gibeah. And the children went up against the children of Benjamin, and put themselves in array. And the children of Benjamin went up against the people, and they began to smite and kill them. And the Gibeah, about 30 men in Israel, and the Benjamin said, they are smitten down. But the children of Israel said, let us quickly draw them from the city to the highways. And all the men rose up out of their place into Baltimore, and the liars of Israel went and came against Gibeah 10,000 chosen men out of Israel. And the battle was sore, but they knew not that the evil was near them, and the Lord smote Benjamin. And the children of Israel destroyed Benjaminites. So the children of Israel saw that they were smitten, because they trusted into the liars, and the liars waited, rushed, and spoiled the city. Now there was a appointed sign between Israel and a great fire. Smoke rose up, and when the men of Israel retired, they said, surely they are smitten down before us as in a battle. But when the flame began to rise up, they looked on them, and when the men turned again, Benjamin was amazed. They turned back and overtook them. They enclosed the Benjamites over against them, and Benjamin fell 18,000 men. They turned and pursued hard after them. So Benjamin fell, about 600 men fled to the wilderness, and the men of Israel turned again upon the children of Benjamin and smote them with the edge of the sword, as well as the city and the beast, and he set them on fire. Now the men of Israel had sworn in Mizpah, saying, there should not any of us give his daughter to them. And the people in the house of God did there before God and lifted up their voices and said, why has this come to pass? And on the morrow they rose up and they offered a peace offering. They said, who is among us, with the congregation, for they had great oath concerning him that came up, not up, but to the Lord. The children, they repented, and how shall they do for wise, seeing we have sworn? And they said, what when is the tribes of Israel not come to the Lord? And for the people were numbered, there was no inhabitants. And the congregation sat there, 1,000 men, commanded them, saying, go smite the inhabitants of just Gilead. And this thing you will do, you will destroy every man and woman. And they found among the inhabitants them 400 men, 400 virgins that had no men. lying with an email, and the whole congregation sent some to speak to children of Benjamin. And Benjamin came against at that time, and the people repented them for Benjamin. And then the elders of the congregation said, how shall we do for our wives that remain, seeing the women are destroyed? And they said, there must be an inheritance that be escaped of Benjamin, albeit we may not give them wives or daughters. Then they said, behold, there is a feast of the Lord in Shiloh, yearly in the place which is on the north side. They commanded that the children of Benjamin, saying, go and lie and wait in the vineyards. And then they came to the vineyards and came to catch his wife. And it shall be their fathers to their complaint be favorable. And the children of Israel did that. They danced, they got the inheritance, and the children of Israel left. In his tribe and family in those days there was no king of Israel. Every man did that which was right in his own eyes. Turning over to Luke 9. And it came to pass on the next day they were come down from the hill. They met him, and they cried out, Master, look on my son, he's my only child. And the Spirit took him, and he suddenly cried out. And he left him, and they couldn't do it. Jesus said, your faith is a perverse generation. Bring him to me. And he was coming, and Jesus rebuked them, and they were amazed. But while they wondered that Jesus did, he said, let the sayings go down. The Son of Man shall be delivered to the hands of men. But they did not understand. They rose and reasoned. Jesus left, thought, took the child and set him by him. He said, whosoever shall receive him in my name receives me. Whosoever receiveth him that sent me. For he that is least among you, the same shall be great. John answered and said, Master, we saw one casting out devils, and we stopped him because he did not follow us. He said, do not stop him, for he that is not against us is for us. And it came to pass, when the time was come that he should be received up, he went to Jerusalem, messengers before his face. They went and entered to the village of Samaritans. And they did not receive him, because his face was as though he would go to Jerusalem. And when his disciples James and John saw this, they said, command fire and consume them. He turned and he rebuked them. He said, the Son of Man did not come to destroy lives, but to save them. He said, it came to pass, the Son of Man said, Lord, I'll follow you wherever you go. He said, fix yourself fools, but today you have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. He said to another, follow me, and suffer me to go and bury my Father. Jesus said unto them, let the dead bury their dead, but go and preach the kingdom of God. And another said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go. Ask them, or tell them goodbye. And Jesus said, no man putting his hand to the plow looking back is fit for the kingdom of God. After these things, the Lord appointed 70 also. And there he said, the harvest truly is great, but laborers are few. Pray that the Lord of harvest may send forth laborers. Go your ways. You are among wolves. Do not carry anything with you. Say peace to this house whenever you enter a house. And if there be there, it will be there. In the house remain, eating and drinking. And whatever city you enter, receive you. Eat the things that are there. and heal the sick there or there. Say the kingdom of God is near you, but into whatsoever city you do not, they receive you not. Go out your ways into the streets the same day. You say that even the very destiny of your city, which cleaves on us, we do wipe off against you, notwithstanding. Be sure this that the kingdom of God has come near you. But I say unto you that it shall be more tolerable in that day. For Sodom, therefore that city, woe to the chosen, but seeing forth their mighty works, have been done in Tyre and Sidon, which have been done in you. They had great while ago repented. But it shall be more tolerable for Tyre and Sidon. And you confident which are exalted to heaven. And he that heareth me, heareth you, hears me. And he that despises you, despises me. And they said in return, rejoice, and they are subject with us. And said to them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. I give you power to tread on serpents, scorpions, and if they will hurt you, do not rejoice in that, but rejoice rather that your name is written in heaven. In that hour Jesus rejoiced in spirit and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven, that thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them to babies. Even so, Father, it seemed good in thy sight. All things are delivered to me, O my Father. No man knoweth who the Son is but the Father, and who the Father is but the Son, and he to whom the Son will reveal him. And he to him and to his disciples and said privately, blessed are your eyes. You see, he said there's many people that desire to see them and haven't heard that I hear those things which you hear and has not heard them. And he tempted them. He said, Master, what shall I do to inherit this? And he said to them, what is written in your law? He said, loving your God and with all your heart, soul, and mind. Strength, he said, you has right. You just answered right. He said, willing to justify himself, he said, who is my neighbor? He said, certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho. And they stripped them of his clothes and left him dead almost. And by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed on the other side. And likewise, when he was at that place, he came and looked on him, passed by on the other side. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him, and went in and bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn, took care of him. And on the morrow he departed, and gave them clothes, and when he said, what do you think? He said, show mercy on him. Jesus said, go and do the same thing. And it passed. His sister called Mary, sat at his feet. Mary said, there's a lot of serving that I'm doing, and I'm not getting any help. Jesus said, Martha, Martha, you are troubled about many things, but one thing is needful, and Mary has chosen a good thing, and it's not going to be taken away from her. Came to pass, they were praying. He said, when you pray, say, our Father, which be in our name, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day daily bread, for our sins, for we forgive everyone that is indebted to us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. He said unto them, which of you shall have a friend, and shall come to him at midnight, and say unto him, friend, lend me 3 loaves, for a friend of mine's journeys come to me, and I have nothing set before him. And he from within shall say, trouble me not, the door is shut, judgment with me in bed, I cannot arise. Give me, he said, I say to you, though he would not rise because of his friend, and because of the opportunity, you will rise and give me as you need it. He said to you, ask and it shall be given, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened. For everyone asketh, receiveth, and he that seeketh finds, to him that knocketh shall be opened. And if his son asked, he said, will he give him a stone? For or if he shall raise, or from a scorpion. If you didn't be evil, know how to give good gifts, how much more does your heavenly Father know how to give good gifts? And he was casting out devil when it was done. But some of them say, cast out devils through Beelzebub, tempting him. Knowing their thoughts, said, saying, be divided is you. How shall you stand? His kingdom standing in Beelzebub. What do your sons cast them out? But if I with finger cast out devils, no doubt it's come from you. I own you. And when a strong man keeps back his goods are in peace, but when a strong man come, take him and divide his spoils. He that's not against me is against me. And the gathering is scattered. And when the spirits come out, he can find rest, and when he cometh, he found them garnished, and he goeth, and he taketh other spirits with him, and they stayed there, and came to pass them those things. When the woman of the company of the voiced, he said, ye are blessed are they that hear the word of God and hear it. And when they gathered together, he began to say, he said, ye are rather blessed are they that hear the word of God and keep it. Our brothers and sisters, we'll be picking up tomorrow. We'll be picking up Monday, and we'll read Ruth 1 through 4, Luke 11:29 through 54, and Samuel 1 through 3, Luke 12:1 through 34. Monday. So, peace.